The following program contains shocking amounts of wit. If you suffer from dim-wittedness, this show might not be right for you. Check with your mortician.
Standing for truth in the four corners of America. Fighting for justice on the frontiers of the culture wars. And turning resistance into an art form. Men enough to walk his cat, Randall Terry.
I love that theme music. I wrote it myself. Oh yeah, baby, a certified bonehead? I would rather be a bonehead than have my head full of mush like some of the people here in Washington, D.C. Oh, you're a good shot, Randall. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, another show for the archives. You know why? We archive them all. In today's program, we're going to talk about President Obama being in Afghanistan. We need to pray for him to be safe. And the financial report came out, just what you'd expect from socialists, more socialism. And there's a lot of news going on around out there about me and Mr. Boehner, and I just want to say for the record that most of it ain't true. I'm going to talk to you about it on today's program. Today's program brought to you in part by Terry for president? Oh, come on, you've got to be kidding me. And by Boehner for speaker? Yeah, that's really going to happen. All right, I'll take a quick break and give my, what's that man named? Rusty Cowpoke? Is that his name? I'm going to give my good friend Rusty Cowpoke a chance to say something profound.
Hey there, listen up, come here. You heard it from me first. When Randall runs for presidency in 2012, he's gonna stir up such an awful big situation. When Randall's done showing the pictures of dead babies killed by abortion to these United States on primetime national television, I'm telling you, the baby killer's gonna cry like a wounded coyote. Ow!
After we recorded what you're about to see, my wife suggested that I give you a warning. I'm about to talk about homosexuals in the military. So if you have small children in the room that you don't want to discuss this with at this point, this is your chance to either change the channel or to escort the little ones out of the room. Just honoring moms and dads and boundaries. God bless you. Here comes the segment. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. What is Rusty Cowpoke talking about? Me running for president? I'll tell you about it in a minute, possibly. No, I mean, it's possible that I'm going to, not I'll possibly tell you, but let me please get on with some other news first, if I could, okay? The president is in Afghanistan right now to encourage the troops and thank the troops. And all kidding aside, we need to pray for his safety. They got in safe. It terrifies me, the thought of the jets trying to leave that airspace, and the fact that we know that there are terrorists on the loose, and we know that they have surface-to-air missiles, shoulder-launch missiles. Please, all of us, let's just pray that God keeps our president safe. As much as many of us don't like him, we do not want the president of the United States taken out by Muslim terrorists. All right, in other military news, moving right along. In this lame duck session of Congress, they're talking once again about gays in the military, subverting the very purpose of the military. I think that the lame duck Congress has become a lame brain Congress. Oh, Randall, that was really funny. Well, thank you. It might also be called not a lame duck Congress, but a limp wrist Congress. Oh, Randall, that was even funnier still. Thank you. Well, let's just cut to the chase on the serious side of this. Please hear me. Do you understand why we have a military? Why do we have a military? And the simplest explanation is this. We have a military to crush foreign enemies on a field of battle. That's why. That's our ultimate purpose. At the front end, it's to have a military that would make somebody think twice about attacking us. And then if they do attack us, it's to have a military that is able to destroy the enemy as quickly and efficiently as possible. All right? To have a good military, you have to have a thing called unit cohesion. All right? That means that the guys that are stuck in a foxhole together get along, they like each other, they're able to work together. Now, when you introduce homosexuals in the military serving openly, and I'm telling you right now, get ready for the jokes, because some of them are funny and some of them are just a little off. When you try and say, hey, it's not a job, it's a date. When you introduce the dynamic of an openly homosexual person serving, okay? Hey, private, want to take a shower together? Or, just start going down through the list, people. Fill in the blanks yourself, okay? Hey, I think that Bobby's got a thing for you, if you know what I'm talking about. Hey, I'll stop now. All right, I'll stop. What do you think that does to unit cohesion? What do you think it does to unit cohesion? You think it helps? You think it makes guys that are going to have to serve together more battle-hardened, ready to fight and lay down their lives for each other? You think when somebody gets wounded and needs a field transfusion of blood, that he's going to be happy to see the homosexual guy come up who might have AIDS? Come on, people. This is a godless agenda. This has nothing to do with the security of the United States. It has to do with a minority of people who want to use the military as their social experiment and to try and force homosexuality into the military in order to normalize this perverse, self-destructive, abominable behavior. And when I said godless, please hear me. One of the great crises that the religious right and the conservative family movement is making, you going to hear me on this? One of the great mistakes that we're making is that we want to take God out of the equation when it comes to public debate about ethics, morality, and policy. You've got people that want to discuss the impact of two daddies, two homosexuals raising a child, or two mommies raising a child. They want to discuss it in economic terms, psychological development terms, educational terms, impact on the community terms. But no one wants to say, this is a crime against God. This is an insult to heaven. This is an assault on the definition of marriage as God created it. They want to take God out of the equation. And listen, what two consenting adults do in their home, it still can be sin, it can still be a crime, but sometimes it's not the kind of crime that we want a police state to knock down the door. So I want to be perfectly clear on that, all right? We're not looking to publicly humiliate people, drive teenagers to commit suicide. No, 1,000 times no. That's not what is at stake here, but they want to make it that. You see, you'll hear people talking, as this homosexual in the military debate goes forward, you'll hear people talking about the teenagers who feel so ashamed and then they commit suicide, or you'll hear people talking about homosexuals are tired of being second-class citizens. In other words, they want us to say that this particular behavior, which involves, by definition, sexual acts between people who are of the same gender, what they want us to say is that that behavior is okay. It's ethically okay. It's morally okay. And it's not. It's not. There are rules, and those rules come from God. And until we are willing to die on that hill, to say, no, this is wrong because our Maker says it's wrong. Until we're willing to fight on that hill, hear me, we're going to lose. We're going to lose the fight. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a song for you that you're going to love. I'm going to talk about my relationship to John Boehner. It's almost comical. And talk about the possibility of yours truly running for president. What in the world am I even thinking of? Just please stay with me. I'll be right back.
Randall and I made a trip to Europe some years ago to visit Henry VIII. He told Henry that Anne Boleyn had a thing for him. The rest is history.
Moments with Moses. If you walk in my statutes and observe my commandments and do them, I will make my abode among you, and my soul shall not abhor you.
Welcome back to the program, friend. There's a lot on the internet right now about our team going down and meeting with John Boehner's chief of staff, basically saying defunding Planned Parenthood is not an option, it's a demand. All right, you're on probation. We played a little bit of political hardball. We live here in the district. That's part of what we do. I'm going to sing a song that shows how I really feel about the Republican Party. I hope you enjoy it. You told me that you loved me like no other. Said you would take me home to meet your mother. You sang me love songs. I turned my back and you were gone. I thought, what did I do? Sat there waiting for you. Thought we could fix whatever went wrong. GOP, what did you do to me? GOP, was blind but now I see. GOP, you were using me all along. You said you needed me so we could get to power. I gave you my time and money, and you brought me flowers. I finally gave you my vote. Baby, that was all she wrote. You won't return my calls, won't do nothing at all. I was part of your wild oats. GOP, now I know what it means. GOP, was blind but now I see. GOP, you were using me all along. Then I started wondering, what does GOP mean? Gathering of peacocks, galloping old pompous windbags, growth on a porcupine, girdle on a pantomime. Good old power-hungry granddaddies on Prozac, godless old pusillanimous sacks. GOP, that's what you mean to me. And baby, I'ma pay you back. Hello? Yeah, it's me. Who's this? Oh, hi. How have you been? I'm good, thanks. You need my help? Sure, yeah, no, I'm not busy. No, That old red dress you got me? Yeah, I still have it. Well, sure, I'll wear it, All right, okay, yeah. I'll see you in a minute. Yeah, I've missed you too. Bye, I'll be right over. Thank you. I hope that explains to everybody how I really feel about the GOP, John Boehner, and these people that are our new political saviors. Whatever. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I will talk in detail about what's going on with Boehner and the possibility of yours truly running for president. Don't go away.
I need to be healed. I'm starting to feel something, Father. He's the one. You people are sick. In your souls, you are sick. I want to be normal like you.
Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Sir Winston Churchill. Welcome back to the program, friend. I want to encourage you to go to BoehnerTeaParty.com. Look at it there on your screen. At that website, we have two petitions. One is for the Tea Party, and the other is distinctly for the pro-life movement. I want you to know right up front, we want to collect names. We want to get your email address so that we can keep you up to speed on political fights that are happening here in the district, on things that we're doing, on products and training materials that we can offer you. Yes, and once in a while, I'm going to say, hey, we're in this project. Would you like to send us some money? And you know why I'm telling you this? Because I want you to know. That's what all these petitions online are for. The difference between us and them is we're not going to sell your name. We're not going to rent your name. And we actually do something. I know it's crazy. Some of these groups do stuff as well, and for that we thank them. We've been making life a little bit difficult for Mr. Boehner and his chief of staff. If you Google my name and you Google John Boehner's name, you're going to find a whole lot of action out there because we've gone to them and said basically what is in the petitions that are online. I don't need to be redundant. I encourage you to go there, but I want you to understand something really clearly. If we're going to restore this republic, we have to play hardball. Holding people's feet to the fire, telling the Republican House of Representatives, you're on probation, this has to be part of the very fare for the journey. This has to be the stock and trade of our agenda for the next year and a half. Because if we don't do it, we're just going to have a repeat of the nonsense of 1994. Some of you don't even remember that far back, but in effect, that's when the Republicans swept into House, when Bill Clinton was in his second year in office, and people were reacting. But guess what it brought us? Basically, no fundamental change in government. None. And right now, I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to have the same kind of nonsense, where they pay lip service to us, but then they don't bring any fundamental change. They need to completely overturn Obamacare. They need to completely defund Planned Parenthood, okay, not give them a dime under any part of the federal budget. And if they don't do those two things, then folks, it's all a scam. All right, I'm running out of time, so let me bring you up to speed on one other thing, and really to ask you for your prayers. Again, if you Google my name, you'll see that the Washington Post, Catholic Online, WorldNet Daily, and of course a whole bunch of blogs now, are talking about the fact that, number one, Missy Smith and I, who just ran for Congress, that we are making ourselves available to people if they want to run for office in the top 25 markets, or anywhere in the country for that matter, so that we can show the truth, the horrible, grisly truth about child killing to this country. If child killing is going to be made illegal, which it must and which it will, then part of the battle strategy is going to be getting people elected to office who will show the truth, that these little babies are brutally ripped apart limb from limb. You've seen the pictures. Most Americans have not. And if people run for the U.S. House or the U.S. Senate, then the ads cannot be denied. People can be brought face to face with these dead babies. Our goal is to create a crisis of conscience. That's our goal, to shake the conscience of this country toward the end, making child killing illegal. And also toward that end, and I ask you for your prayers, I am praying about running for president. I am. I have no illusion that I can win, but I am committed, if I do it, to making myself and a campaign available as a means through which we can discuss those things that must be discussed, as in the murder of babies, the threat of Islam and Sharia law to our freedoms, the socialist plantation, etc. But as I have said on this program repeatedly, and I'm going to say it again right now, the number one domestic crisis, the number one moral issue, the number one agenda for any God-fearing politician must be to make child killing illegal again. And we as a country cannot put money in the economy or anything ahead of the lives of these babies. So that's why I'm considering running, to be able to put ads on national TV. And maybe get some votes. And maybe, wouldn't it be crazy if there was an upset and I actually was the president? Stop dreaming, you fool. I'll be right back. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupted and become abominable in iniquities. There is none that doth good. Abraham Lincoln said, "We, the people, are the rightful masters of both Congress and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow men who pervert the Constitution." Friend, those are fighting words. It's time that we learn to play political hardball because we're the boss.